Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day today. Merciless Vaughn here with another Bleach and Brave Souls video. And this one we're going to be talking about should you summon or should you skip the 9th anniversary specials and its summoned banner. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, you've been here for a while, subscribe. I want to get to 400 subscribers. Now with all that said, let's go ahead and get started. So the 9th anniversary banner will release in less than 24 hours now. So are these characters worth summoning for? Yes, they are. These characters are definitely worth summoning for. They are just OP. On paper, Kenpachi does look like the best character in the game. If you look at his characteristics here, we are getting new killer effects with these characters. Espada Killer Plus, I'm guessing it's just an even stronger version of the Espada Killer that we have. He has Frenzy plus 3, Berserker 100%, Status Element, Spiritual Pressure boost, and also we have a new, I guess, effect, the EX mode, which is basically massively raises his Spiritual Pressure boost of 100%. So basically, he will have 180% Spiritual Pressure boost while, the duration of the Spiritual Pressure boost is active and the massive Spiritual Pressure boost is up as well. So, yeah. And as you can see, the EX move blasts an aura around himself that increases your spiritual pressure by 100% for 8 seconds. Or, excuse me, 10 seconds. And the cooldown on it is 60 seconds. And so, yeah, taking a look at his skills, Marauder, weakened defense, he has a devastation of 50%, which is pretty high. Frenzy plus 3. Increased status element chance against rankers. Yeah. He looks like the best unit in the game on paper, but won't really know for sure until we, just summon for him. Gremory here, he does have the EX move as well. His is a boost and a debuff wide range attack. Boosts your allies and basically debuffs the enemies. He has the Hollow Killer Plus. He has 2 soul traits. Strong attack damage plus 20%. Strong attack recharge time minus 12%. Frenzy plus 3. Bombardment. And yeah, anything else? He does have a chance to dodge hollow enemies, which is always great. He does have the element reversal and sharpshooter skill. He also does have weakened defense, so his soul bomb will be hitting insanely hard as well. He's also immune to all status elements, which is great. Hold on, wait a minute. I didn't realize this when I was first looking at the Kenpachi. He's not immune to any status elements. They're going to have to watch out for those status elements pulls. So yeah, all of these characters are definitely good, and here we do have the new EX moves here. There's basically a short description of that. And here we have the banner itself. And the banner is going to be 51 steps. I guess we're not going to be doing the 7-step banner for this anniversary, which is pretty good. Although, if you want at least one of the new characters, you will have to go to at least step 25, which is pretty steep for one of the new characters. And so, as for the banner itself and the other featured units, this banner isn't good, in my opinion. I mean, you do have the 8th anniversary units, which are definitely, just very good units. So you have the Ichigo here, and you have the White here, which is the best unit in the game until this Kenpachi and Gremory comes out. So, other than that, all of these characters are just pretty much not. I mean, for a 1,000-Year Blood War banner, not having any 1,000-Year Blood War characters other than the new ones in here is just kind of unfortunate, really. All of these are just premium units. So you really don't have to summon on this banner since, all anniversary units are premium units. So you necessarily don't have to summon on this banner if you don't want to. You could just get lucky, pull them from the BBS tickets, or wait until post-selection if you really don't want to summon. And so since we have quite a few other featured 5-star units here, we can take a quick look at them very fast. So here we have this Rukia, who is a Mind Espada killer unit with a soul trait of normal attack damage plus 30%. She's a melee unit with frost on all of her attacks. She has the decrease in ranker damage taken 20%, and she's immune to the weakened status element. Her bruiser is 60%, which is pretty high. She's just basically a guild quest unit here that you can see. The most notable skills that stand out to me are obviously the increased killer effects in guild quest and the increased melee damage in guild quest. And she does have Flurry plus 2 in guild quest as well. So this is just basically a premium guild quest unit that you can use for, I'm guessing, melee Espada week in guild quest. You have Wonderwise here, who is a mind no affiliation killer unit. His soul trait is the normal attack damage plus 30% skill. Melee unit, no status elements. The most notable skills that stand out to me are he is immune to fire resistance, which is great. Guard break, his bruiser is at 70%, which is high for a NAD unit. Decreased no affiliation damage taken 20%. Flurry plus 1, except in some quest types. Flurry plus 2 in guild quests. Follow up, and just another guild quest unit here. He has the increased killer effects in guild quests and increased melee damage in guild quests. So this is just another guild quest unit that you can use for the melee no affiliation week for guild quest. Alright, up next we have Tetsuzaman. He is a power Sternritter killer unit with a soul trait of strong attack damage inflicted at full stand 40%. Range unit, weakening on all of his attacks except his SA2. His SA2 does have the barrier. Havoc 20%, full stamina only, reduced strong attack cooldown 6%. His Berserker is at 40%. He does have the reduced strong attack cooldown 12%. He's immune to the weakened status element, and at full stamina only, he is increasing his strong attack damage by 40%. Frenzy plus 1, damage to weakened enemies 40%, multi-barrier plus 2, and guard break. Yeah, this is just pretty much looking like a pretty typical premium unit from the looks of it, really. I guess he's meant to be used in the Sternritter guild quest as a main unit. You really want to use him for auto, really. But, just having his barrier up would be pretty good in guild quest. So yeah, just another premium unit that could be useful for guild quest. Here's one of the better units in the banner, in my opinion. On this Ruka, she is a heart unit with the Hollow Killer. Her soul trait is damage inflicted at full stand plus 30%. Range unit, drained on all of her attacks. She has the enemies defeated gimmick. 10 enemies, you get 20% Berserker. 25, you get a 20% full stamina damage boost. 50 enemies defeated, increase strong attack damage 20% for your entire party. Innate skills, she does recover stamina in between stages, and she does have Siphoner. Her Berserker is at 40%, Devastation 60%, reduced strong attack cooldown 12%. She's immune to the fire status element, Havoc 20%, Frenzy plus 2, weakened defense, long stride, guard break, and the status element spiritual pressure boost. So overall, yeah, I do think this is one of the better units in the banner. This Ruka is a seasonal unit, so she really won't be coming back all too often. And I believe this is, yeah, seasonal units are not in the premium pool, so if you manage to pull her from this banner, she's a pretty good pickup. She does have lots of ways to heal, so you will be taking full advantage of the full stamina damage boost that she has built into her kin, and her skills are not that bad, and she does have the spiritual pressure boost 80% skill, which is great. So you have this Soyon, who is a technique human killer unit with a soul trait of strong attack recharge time minus 14%. Melee unit, paralysis on all of her attacks, and she does have the, I guess this is the, the trap status element on her SA3, forgot what that was. She does have a chance to insta-kill on her soul bomb. She is immune to the paralysis status element, and at full stamina only, she does reduce her strong attack cooldowns by 6%. Berserker, 60%, devastation 40%, full stamina only, increase strong attack damage 40%. Frenzy plus 1, defibrillator plus 5 seconds. She increases technique character attribute damage, strong attack damage by 20%, and she increases the damage to status element affected enemies 40% for technique soul reapers. Damage to paralyzed enemies 40% and guard break. Yeah, this is just another premium unit in the banner. I guess she could be useful for, some healer human content in the game. Here is another seasonal unit, the Nelio. She is a speed captain killer with a normal attack damage plus 30% soul trait. Ranged units, no status elements. She has a boost and an SA2 on her barrier. She does have the gauge effect, which gives her flurry plus 1, decreased damage taken 30%. She has sharpshooter and poise for her innate skill. She starts her gauge off with 70%, which is pretty good. Her bruiser is only at 30%, which is pretty low for a NAD unit. She has the complete status immunity, gauge, rampage skill, flurry plus 1, increased normal attack damage for speed attribute characters, enhancer, mostly barrier plus 2, and the booster skill. So, yeah, as you can see here, she's not a bad unit. I mean, having a booster enhancer skill for her SA2, just to help that out, is definitely good. You can't go wrong with multi-barrier. Being immune to status elements, and when her gauge is active, she gets flurry plus 2. So I say this is a pretty good unit that you can use for the range captain weekend guild quest. So yeah, it's a pretty decent pickup if you do manage to get her if you are someone that takes guild quests pretty seriously. Alright, so we have this Rukia here, who is a power or ranker killer unit with a soul trader strong attack damage minus 12%. Range unit with frost on all of her attacks except her SA2. Her SA2 is a heal. She does have the medic skill, so that SA2 will heal you for a lot more. She is immune to the freeze status element. She reduces the power attribute strong attacks by 20% when you move in between stages. Full stamina damage boost 20%, rampage, havoc 20%, frenzy plus 2, defibrillator plus 5 seconds. Increased status element chance against technique attribute enemies, damage to frozen enemy 20%, sharpshooter healer, and the status element spiritual pressure boost. So overall, this would be a pretty decent pickup here. Yeah, if you manage to pull this unit, I'd say she's pretty good. She does have a heal for her SA2, the medic skill, as well as the healer skill. You'll just be able to heal the party up for a lot, and you will be able to take advantage of her full stamina damage boost that she has a base of 20% of, and with the right character links, you can go past 100% full stamina boost. So I say this is a pretty good character for you to pick up if you don't have her. Definitely very, very good. Alright, so here we have this Toshiro, who is a Mind Quincy killer unit with a Soul Trader strong attack recharge time minus 12%. Ranged unit, frost on all of his attacks, trap on his SA3, havoc 20%, full stamina damage boost, he's immune to the weakened status element. His berserker and devastation are at 40%, frenzy plus 1, defibrillator plus 5 seconds. Seems to be a guild quest unit. He has the increased damage in guild quest skills, and as well as the increased killer effect in guild quest. Status element spiritual pressure boost. So basically, if you get this unit, it's a guild quest unit that you will be able to use that has some pretty decent skills. He does have the status element spiritual pressure boost, as I mentioned, and as well, he does have damage from frozen enemies. So if you inflict this status element, you will be doing some pretty good damage. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a unit you can use for the Quincy guild quest. Alright, so we have the 8th anniversary Ichigo here. Yeah, he's a power unit with the hollow and no affiliation killer, soul trade strong stat recharge time minus 14%. He is a range unit with weakening and drain on all of his attacks. He's able to read all affiliation dodges. He has poise. Devastation is at 60%. Full stamina damage boost has a base 20%. Share complete status immunity. Havoc 20%. Frenzy plus 3. Defibrillator plus 5 seconds. Increased status element chance against technique attribute enemies. Poise break, sharpshooter, hit enemies. Yeah, still a pretty good unit. There's not a lot of units with the frenzy plus 3 skill. There are some units that can get frenzy plus 3, but you know, for example, the 1,000-year Bloodward King and he has a base frenzy of plus 2 when you activate his gauge, and while it is active, you get frenzy plus 3. But this Ichigo has a base frenzy plus 3 without needing to do anything extra, so yeah, which is really, really good. Though we are getting 2 new characters that have a base of frenzy plus 3 as well. But this Ichigo is still a very, very good unit. Alright, last but surely not least, we have the 8th anniversary of White here. Mind unit, Soul Reaper, no affiliation. Soul Trade, strong attack, recharge time minus 12%. I've been pretty much, you know, just kind of been saying that this unit is the best unit in the game for the past year. So I've talked about it pretty much often in my videos. Lacerate, Drain, melee unit, complete status immunity, Marauder, increase mind attribute character movement speed by 30%, Havoc 20%, Frenzy plus 2, Bombardment, Defibrillator plus 2 seconds, increase status element chance against heart attribute enemies, increases mind character special move damage 30%, damage to his status elements, lacerated 60%, drained enemies 40, weakened defense, status element spiritual pressure boost. Yeah, I've said that this unit is the best unit in the game for a whole year now, but until those 9th anniversary units come out, he will no longer be the best in the game. He'll be easy 3rd best unit in the game in my opinion. For 2nd and 1st, I would have to like use the Kenpachi and Grimri just to see who's better. But yeah, that's it for all of the other featured 5-star characters in this banner. Alright, so we talked about the 9th anniversary characters a tad bit more. We went over the other featured 5-star units that are going to be in this banner. Is this banner worth summoning for? Unfortunately, no. In my opinion, I don't think it's worth summoning on. These characters are definitely great. Don't get me wrong; they're very, very good. It's just that these are 1,000-year Blood War units, and the fact that there are no other 1,000-year Blood War units in this banner is honestly kind of bad, in my opinion. Though there are a few good characters in this banner. So if you want to throw a couple of orbs in here, I mean, I don't see why not. But you know, part 2 will be here, what, maybe in the next week or so. We're still going to get an end of month banner, and that end of month banner will be part 2 to the anniversary. And also, these units will be coming back at the end of year for post selection. So if you want to save until then by all means, go ahead and save. But anyways, at the end of the day, they are your orbs. You can do whatever you want with them. And so, yeah, that's going to be it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching. As usual, until next time.